Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap, and I really believe that all of you are really going well. And today in this session we are going to discuss the top 50 MCQs from the month of June 2022, in which we will be discussing all the important general awareness questions which are really important for your RBI Grade B, NABARD Grade A as well as SEBI Grade A exam. So guys, part 1 has already been done for this particular part, and now today we are going to discuss the part 2 of the top 50 MCQs for the month of June 2022. But before beginning the session guys, if you are new to our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates of the courses and videos offered by us. And you can also join our Telegram channel to get the access to the PDF of the sessions. To join the Telegram channel, kindly click on the link given in the description below. ठीक है जी. So guys, session start करने से पहले there is an instruction for all of you that when you will be answering the questions, what you are required to do. Just place the question number and the option that you think that is right in the comment section. ठीक है जी. तो apart from that, there is second more important instruction is that after the session you are also required to keep a note of your scorecard, and you are required to tell me that how much marks did you scored out of 50 in this particular session. ठीक है. So I hope that all the instructions are very well, and now we are ready to go to the very first question of our today's session. So here is the very first question, that is the Prime Minister has launched Niryat Portal. So guys, recently PM Modi has launched the Niryat Portal, and you are required to tell me that what does R stands for in this Niryat Portal. See, whenever such kind of questions are being asked, are being there in the news articles, you are required to remember that what exactly is the full form of such kind of portals, such kind of initiatives, the programs which are being taken by the government of India. And when I talk about the Niryat Portal, this is the portal which is going to give the information about all the India's trade related things. ठीक है जी. So when I talk about the right answer of the Niryat Portal, that what exactly R stands for, the right answer to the question is option D, that is record. So Niryat basically stands for National Import Export Record for yearly analysis of the trade. And as I have already told you that this portal provides all the necessary information related to India's foreign trade. I hope this is very much clear. Let's move on to the next question. So in the next question, you are required to identify the projects for which World Bank has recently approved 562 million US dollars. See guys, जो भी ऐसी फंडिंग यहाँ पर प्रोवाइड की जाती है वर्ल्ड बैंक, IMF, ADB द्वारा, इट रियली बिकम्स इंपॉर्टेंट. और रिसेंटली वर्ल्ड बैंक ने अप्रूव किया है 562 मिलियन US डॉलर्स की फंडिंग, एंड यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू आइडेंटिफाई दैट इनमें से कौन सा वो प्रोजेक्ट है विच इज नॉट द पार्ट ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट फॉर विच दिस फंडिंग हैज बीन प्रोवाइडेड. एंड गाइज हियर द राइट आंसर टू द क्वेश्चन इज ऑप्शन ए, दैट इज एजुकेशन प्रोजेक्ट इन द उत्तर प्रदेश, बिकॉज दिस एजुकेशन प्रोजेक्ट फॉर विच द फंडिंग हैज बीन प्रोवाइडेड बाय द World Bank, it is basically for Gujarat and not for the Uttar Pradesh. So here in this manner the examiner can twitch the question, the information in the news article, and a question can be framed from here. Okay ji, moving on to the next question. So the next question is on the Global Livability Index 2022. So here you are required to tell me the city which has topped this Global Livability Index 2022. So guys, these indexes are really very important, and when we talk about this particular index, you always required to remember कि किसने launch किया था, what is the framework for that, टॉप रैंकर्स कौन है, इंडिया की रैंक क्या है. सो ऑल सच काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स, द डायमेंशंस यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू कवर इन सच काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस which are from the reports and indices. So when I talk about this question, the right answer to the question is Vienna, Austria. So guys, Vienna ने यहाँ पर टॉप किया है इस particular thing को. And when I talk about the Indian cities, so New Delhi ranked 112th while Mumbai was ranked 117th in this particular Global Livability Index 2022. And guys, in the recently held RBI Grade B Phase 2 exam, we have seen that there was a question from the Human Capital Index which was being launched by World Bank. So here you can see that how much these kind of indexes are really very important from the exam point of view. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question. And in the next question, see, recently the International Coordinating Council and Man and the Biosphere program was being organized by UNESCO. ठीक है. And during this particular part, 11 new biospheres reserves were introduced, and now you are required to tell me that what is presently the total number of these biosphere reserves in 134 countries. So guys, in lines पर भी question आ सकता है, because we have recently seen that the lines for some of the questions were being changed in the exam, and that's why we have seen that some kind of questions like the cyclone events of Resina dialogue were being asked in the exam. So that's why you must be prepared as per the रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ द एग्जाम विच इज चेंजिंग ईयर बाय ईयर। ठीक है जी, तो इन सभी चीजों के लिए आपको रेडी रहना पड़ेगा एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी आर ब्रिंगिंग सच काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस इन बिटवीन ऑल द क्वेश्चंस सो दैट आपकी उसकी भी प्रैक्टिस होती रहे। ठीक है, सो व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट द राइट आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन, द राइट आंसर इज 738. So guys, after the addition of these 11 new biosphere reserves, the new number is basically 738 and these 738 biosphere reserves are in the 134 countries. ठीक है, moving on to the next question. The next question is on the Garib Kalyan Rozgar Abhiyan. So you are required to tell me कि nodal ministry कौन सी है for the Garib Kalyan Rozgar Abhiyan, and here the options are Ministry of Rural Development, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Ministry of Education, Ministry of MSME and Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. So a very important scheme which was being launched by the government of India, and guys this scheme basically is under the Ministry of Rural Development. So this scheme was basically launched on 20th June 2020 and this scheme was being launched to benefit the migrant workers who were affected during the COVID-19 pandemic. तो वो सभी migrant workers जो कि impact हुए थे, जिन पर काफी भारी impact पड़ा था of the COVID-19, उनके लिए यहाँ पर ये स्कीम लाई गई थी which was titled as the गरीब कल्याण रोजगार अभियान। ठीक है जी, I hope this is very much clear. Let's move on to the next question. And the next question is that ICICI बैंक ने recently launch किया है कैंपस पावर इनिशिएटिव। ठीक है, तो जो बच्चे हायर एजुकेशन परस्यू करना चाहते हैं इंडिया के अंदर या फिर अब्रॉड, उनके लिए कैंपस पावर इनिशिएटिव लॉन्च किया है आईसीआईसीआई बैंक ने। सो यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू टेल मी कि जो पहली ब्रांच है ऐसे स्टूडेंट इकोसिस्टम की, वो यहाँ पर कौन सी इंस्टीट्यूट्स के अंदर सेटअप की गई है। इट्स आईआईटी कानपुर, आईआईटी दिल्ली, आईआईएससी बैंगलोर, TISS Mumbai or IIT Madras. Let's see who will answer the question correctly. So guys, here you are required to just identify the name of the institute where the first such student ecosystem has been set up by the ICICI Bank, and here guys the right answer to the question is IIT Kanpur. So IIT Kanpur के अंदर बना है ये पहला student ecosystem. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is Dhan Sanchay Life Insurance Plan. So guys, recently one of the general insurance companies has launched the धन संचय लाइफ इंश्योरेंस प्लान, एंड यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू टेल मी कि कौन सी इंश्योरेंस कंपनी ने लॉन्च किया है। इट्स एचडीएफसी, बिरला, भारती एक्सा, एलआईसी और कोटक महिंद्रा लाइफ इंश्योरेंस, एंड गाइस इट्स आंसर इज बेसिकली एलआईसी। ठीक है जी, एलआईसी विच इज बीइंग हेडेड बाय एमआर कुमार। So here the important thing is that whenever such kind of insurance companies are there in the news articles, you are also required to remember that who is the chief of that, and when the name is of LIC, this information becomes really very important from the exam point of view. ठीक है जी, तो let's move on to the next question, and the next question is recently government of India has collaborated with which of the following banks to create an integrated pensioners portal. So guys, integrated pensioner portal to provide ease of living to the pensioners in India. This particular a portal was being launched by the government of India in collaboration with one such bank, and you are required to identify the name of that bank, and the name of that bank is State Bank of India. So guys, जल्दी बताइए कि State Bank of India के जो हमारे MD हैं वो कौन है। He was recently appointed and the name of that person is आलोक कुमार चौधरी। ठीक है जी, तो ये सब भी इंफॉर्मेशन यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू रिमेंबर फ्रॉम द एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू। ठीक है, तो जब भी कोई बैंक आता है उसकी टैगलाइन क्या है, उसके एमडी कौन है, उसके चेयरमैन कौन है, दीज आर द लिटिल इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग्स आल्सो दैट यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू रिमेंबर फ्रॉम द एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू। लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, एंड द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज दैट विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग कंपनीज, इनमें से कौन सी कंपनी ने रिसेंटली पार्टनरशिप की है एग्रीकल्चर इंश्योरेंस कंपनी के साथ, उसका एम क्या है, टू प्रोवाइड प्राइस गारंटी स्कीम फॉर चिली फार्मर्स ऑफ द गुंटूर आंध्र प्रदेश। सो गाइज यहाँ पर आपको देखना होगा कि व्हाट एग्जैक्टली आर द कीवर्ड्स। द फर्स्ट वन इज दैट प्राइस गारंटी फॉर द चिली फार्मर्स, और ये चिली फार्मर्स कहाँ के होंगे, दे आर बेसिकली ऑफ द गुंटूर इन आंध्र प्रदेश। तो यहाँ पर गुंटूर आंध्र प्रदेश के ऊपर भी एक इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन बन सकता है। सो दैट्स व्हाई यू आर रियली रिक्वायर्ड टू रिमेंबर ऑल सच काइंड ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन वेरी एक्यूरेटली फ्रॉम द एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू। सो जब हम बात करते हैं इस क्वेश्चन के आंसर की, द राइट आंसर इज सिंजेंटा इंडिया। सो दिस इज द राइट आंसर विद विच हैज बेसिकली पार्टनर्ड विद द एग्रीकल्चर इंश्योरेंस कंपनी ऑफ इंडिया। ठीक है, आई होप दिस इज वेरी मच क्लियर। लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन। सो द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज ऑन the Delhi state government and the United Nations development program. So both of these institutions, that is the Delhi state government as well as the United Nations development program, they have together set up an oxygen plant at the Govind Ballabh Pant hospital, and you are required to tell me कि जो oxygen plant है can cater to dash beds. Really, this question is out of the lines, out of the box question, but still you are required to remember such kind of information. See, this is just to make a habit of yours that such kind of questions can also be asked, although their probability is very less, but still it can cost you 2 marks, 4 marks or 6 marks in the exam, as we have seen in the RBI Grade B Phase 2 exam which was held recently. ठीक है जी? So when I talk about the right answer to the question, the right answer is option A, that is 750 beds. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is, here you are required to tell me कि इनमें से कौन सी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने रिसेंटली एक रिपोर्ट रिलीज की है दैट इज मेकिंग द राइट टू सोशल सिक्योरिटी अ रियलिटी फॉर द डोमेस्टिक वर्कर्स, अ ग्लोबल रिव्यू ऑफ द पॉलिसी ट्रेंड, स्टैटिस्टिक्स एंड एक्सटेंशन स्ट्रेटजीज. तो इस क्वेश्चन को याद करने के मैं आपको एक ट्रिक बताता हूँ. सी, when I talk about one such organization, there is an organization which was formed in 1919 and it is being headed by right now Guy Ryder. ठीक है जी? तो जब हम बात करते हैं इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की, दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज बेसिकली रिलेटेड टू द एम्प्लॉयमेंट, लेबर, वर्कर्स. तो जब भी आपको ये सब चीजें टॉपिक्स दिखते हैं किसी भी रिपोर्ट के अंदर, एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट देयर इज वन मोर थिंग दैट इज सोशल सिक्योरिटी. तो जब भी आपको ऐसी चीजें दिखती हैं तो यू आर ऑलवेज रिक्वायर्ड टू रिमेंबर दैट द नेम विल बी ओनली वन, दैट इज इंटरनेशनल लेबर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. तो गाइस, इंटरनेशनल लेबर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एक ऐसा इंस्टीट्यूशन है जो इन सभी फील्ड्स को केटर करता है. एंड गाइस, दैट्स व्हाई देयर इज अ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फ्लैगशिप रिपोर्ट ऑफ दिस organization, that is World Employment and Social Outlook. And here you can see that the right answer is International Labour Organization. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is on the BloombergNEF's report which is financing India's 2030 renewables ambition. So इस report के according you are required to tell me that India needs how much investment to meet 2030 wind and solar capacity goals. Is it USD 300 billion, 2023 $223 billion US dollars, $250 billion US dollars, $500 billion US dollars, or $100 billion US dollars? So quickly tell me in the comment section that what exactly is the right answer to the question. The amount of investment that India need to meet 2030 India's wind and solar capacity goals. So we are already aware that this time that the whole world is transitioning, is transforming from conventional to non-conventional, that is from non-renewable टू रिन्यूएबल सोर्सेज ऑफ एनर्जी. और यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं कि आरबीआई ग्रेड बी फेज 2 एग्जाम के अंदर भी देयर वाज वन कंप्लीट एसे व्हिच वाज फ्रॉम द वन सन वन वर्ल्ड वन ग्रिड. और वहां पर यहाँ पर पूछा गया था दैट व्हाट आर द एडवांटेजेस एंड डिसएडवांटेजेस ऑफ द यूजिंग renewable and non-renewable sources of energy. So guys, that's why you are really required to cater all these important topics which are from the sustainable development and environmental issues. ठीक है जी? So guys, when we talk about the right answer to this question, here the right answer is option B, that is $223 billion. Moving on to the next question. The next question is Bharat Electronics Limited ने recently एक MOU साइन किया है. आपको बताना है कि कौन सी कंट्री के साथ यहाँ पर साइन किया है for the supply of airborne defense suit for the Indian Air Force helicopters. It's Russia, USA, Belarus, France or Germany. And guys, here the country with which the Bharat Electronics Limited has signed this MOU for the airborne defense suit for the Indian Air Force helicopters is basically option C, that is Belarus. ठीक है जी? I hope this is very much clear. Let's move on to the next question. In the next question, you are required to tell me that as per the recent reports, China is secretly building a naval facility, and you are required to tell me the name of the country where such kind of facility is being created, is being formed, is being built by the China. It's Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, Brunei or Indonesia. So such kind of questions are also expected in the exam, and that's why you are really required to be aware of them very properly so that you can answer these questions exam very properly. So guys, here when I talk about the right answer is option A, that is Cambodia. ठीक है जी? Moving on to the next question. So the next question is on the Reserve Bank of India, a very very important organization about which there are a lot of questions in the exams. And when I talk about this question, it is asking about the extension that the Reserve Bank of India has recently announced for the card on file tokenization. So हमने देखा था कि कार्ड टोकनाइजेशन की बात हुई थी, लास्ट ईयर ये इनिशिएटिव लिया गया था, तो उसको जो मैंडेटरी करना है हमें, तो उसकी जो एक लिमिट थी, जो डेट थी, जो कि अबाइड हो जानी थी, सो उसको एक्सटेंड किया गया है. एंड यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू टेल मी दैट पर्टिकुलर डेट, एंड दैट डेट इज 30th of September 2022. ठीक है जी, तो 3 months के लिए इस डेट को डेफर किया गया है. That is what you are required to remember from the exam point of view. Let's move on to the next question, and the next question is on the Niti Ayog, a very important organization when I talk about in India. And guys, when I talk about this particular question, you are required to tell me कि इनमें से कौन सा वो पर्सनालिटी है जिन्होंने रिसेंटली सक्सीड किया है अमिताभ कांत को एज अ CEO ऑफ नीति आयोग. वी ऑल नो दैट रिसेंटली द वाइस चेयरमैन ऑफ नीति आयोग वाज आल्सो बीइंग चेंज, दैट इज Suman K. Beriji recently was appointed as the Vice Chancellor of the Niti Ayog, Vice Chairman of the Niti Ayog. And now you are required to tell me that who among the following has recently been succeeded Amitabh Kanji as the CEO of Niti Ayog, and he is none other than option A, that is Parameshwaran Iyer. So he is a person who has recently been appointed as the CEO of Niti Ayog. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is, who among the following has been appointed as the CEO India Debt Resolution Company Limited? And the right answer to this question is Avinash Kulkarni, who has replaced Manish Makharia, who was earlier the CEO of India Debt Resolution Company Limited. I hope this is very much clear. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is on the vertical launch short range surface to air missile, which was being launched from the Indian naval ship of the coast of Chandipur. You are just required to tell me that where this Chandipur is being located. So guys, Chandipur कहाँ पर located? A very easy question, a हलवा question, because most of the जो भी testing होती है in missiles की, they are being conducted in Chandipur, and Chandipur is located in the state of Odisha. So Chandipur is being located in Odisha. That is what the question was, and that is what the right answer to this question. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is on Indonesia Open 2022. So guys, Indonesia Open 2022, who was the winner in the women's single category? A very important tournament which was held recently. So you are required to tell me कि कौन सी वो वुमेन है जिन्होंने सिंगल्स कैटेगरी के अंदर इस पर्टिकुलर टूर्नामेंट को जीता है. एंड गाइस, हियर द राइट आंसर इज शी इज अ ताइवानीज प्लेयर, दैट इज Tai Zhu Ying. So she is the person. And when I talk about the men's category, it was Victor Axelsen, who is a Danish player. I hope this is very much clear, and all such kind of things are really required for you to remember from the exam point of view. Okay, moving on to the next question. So here you are required to tell me the name of the author who has written the book Gotham Adani, the man who changed India's public India. ठीक है, which, and this book was recently published in the month of June 2022. You are just required to tell me the name of that person who has authored this particular book. It's R.N. Bhaskar, P. Sainath, Siddharth Mukherjee, Sanjeev Sanyal, or Amitav Kumar. And guys, here the right answer to the question is option A, that is R.N. Bhaskar, who has written this book, that is Gotham Adani. ठीक है जी, moving on to the next question. Now the next question is the book of form and emptiness. So recently, one of the author has won the Women's Prize for Fiction 2022 for her novel This. So you are required to just identify the name of the author who has won this particular prize for her novel, that is the Book of Form and Emptiness. And guys, here the right answer is option C, that is Ruth Ozeki, who has won this particular prize for her novel. ठीक है, moving on to the next question. So the next question is on the important days. So important days, what you are required to remember? First of all, the date on which the particular day is being celebrated, and then you are required to remember the theme of this particular year for that particular day. So when I talk about the day which is in the question, it is Day of the Seafarer. So you are required to tell me that on which date it is being celebrated, and the right answer to the question is option A, that is 25th of June, on which this particular day is being celebrated. ठीक है जी, the next important thing is the theme, that is your voyage, then and now share your journey. So this is the theme of this particular part, and here you are required to remember this part, because in the exam you can see that RBI Grade B phase 1 exam में question आया था on the coal miners day. So guys, from here you can see that how much these important days are really very important from the exam point of view. I hope that this is very much clear. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is, a virtual event has been organized by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs on the occasion of dash anniversary of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban. ठीक है जी, तो यहाँ पर प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना अर्बन की बात की गई है, and there are a lot of other schemes as well who have finished their 7th anniversary, that is like प्रधानमंत्री जीवन ज्योति बीमा योजना, then Atal Pension Yojana, then Suraksha Bima Yojana. All these three schemes have completed their 7 years, and when I talk about this particular Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban, it has also completed their 7th anniversary. ठीक है जी, moving on to the next question. So the next question is on the Swachh Certification Protocol, which was being recently released by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. So you are required to tell me that for which of the following certifications this particular Swachh certification protocol has been launched. And guys, here the right answer, when I talk about the questions are ODF, ODF plus, ODF plus plus, water plus. So guys, when we talk about the Swachh certification protocols, all such kind of things are being covered there. That is open defecation free, plus, double plus, as well as water plus. And guys, here that's why the right answer is option E. TKT, that is all of the above. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is, India's largest floating solar power project has been launched by which of the following companies at Kayamkulam, Kerala? तो Kayamkulam, Kerala के अंदर कौन सी कंपनी ने यहाँ पर इंडिया का लार्जेस्ट फ्लोटिंग सोलर प्रोजेक्ट यहाँ पर लॉन्च किया है? एंड गाइस, द राइट आंसर टू द क्वेश्चन इज टाटा पावर सोलर. सो टाटा पावर सोलर ने किया है इस पर्टिकुलर इंडिया के लार्जेस्ट फ्लोटिंग सोलर पावर प्रोजेक्ट को लॉन्च. सो आई होप दैट दिस इज वेरी मच क्लियर. इट इज इन द Kerala that you are required to remember from the exam point of view. Moving on to the next question. So guys, the next question is on the GST compensation cess. तो GST compensation cess की जो हमारी timeline थी उसको लिवाई करने की, it has been extended by the government of India, and you are just required to identify that timeline to which this particular cess will be applicable, will be levied. And guys, here the different options are being given, but you are required to choose the right answer. The right answer to the question is option C, that is 31st of March 2026, to which the central government has extended the time to levy the GST compensation cess. Okay, I hope this is very much clear. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is on the Agnipath scheme. See, Agnipath scheme is really a very hot topic. And guys, after all such kind of protests and all, the government of India has finally raised the age for the Agnipath scheme. So you are just required to identify that particular age. So this age has been increased from dash to dash. And guys, here the right answer is option A, that is from 21 to 23. As earlier, this particular age was 21 years. But now they have increased this age to 23 years for these particular applicants. I hope this is very much clear to all of you. So for the Agniveers, the date of application, that the age for the application is basically being raised from 21 years to 23 years. Moving on to the next question. So next question is once again a very important question of the Securities Exchange Board of India, which has given retail investors a UPI payment option. तो UPI payment option किसके लिए दिया है? REIT as well as InvITs. And now you are required to tell me कि किस amount तक UPI payment option को इस्तेमाल किया जा सकता है for such kind of investments. And guys, here the right answer to the question is option C, that is 5 lakh. So please remember, do remember this particular thing, because these are the things that are being asked in the exam. ठीक है जी, इवन आरबीआई के फेज 2 के अंदर भी एक ऐसा ही क्वेश्चन आया था. फॉर एग्जांपल व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट द क्वेश्चन, इट वाज बेसिकली ऑन कमर्शियल पेपर. तो कमर्शियल पेपर किस मल्टीपल में लॉन्च होता है, किस मल्टीपल में इशू होता है? एंड द आंसर वाज 5 lakh rupees. ठीक है, तो that's why you are really required to be aware of such kind of facts which are recently in the news. ठीक है, hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question, and the next question is on the Reserve Bank of India, which has approved the establishment of an operation support subsidiary of the State Bank of India. तो State Bank of India की हमने recently बात की कि कौन है MD who was recently appointed, that is Alok Kumar Chaudhary. Now you are required to tell me that what exactly is the aim behind the establishment of operation support subsidiary of the SBI, and that is what you are required to identify in this particular question. So 5 options are given, that is to lower the NPA ratio, to lower the cost to income ratio, increase the CRAR ratio, reduce the CRAR ratio, or none of the above. And guys, here the right answer to the question is option B, that is lower the cost to income ratio. A very easy question but a very important one, because यहाँ पर हम सभी देखते हैं कि कौन से बैंक को यहाँ पर अप्रूवल मिला है इस पर्टिकुलर चीज के लिए, but sometime what people do, they just miss that what exactly was the aim of coming up with such kind of initiative, and that is also you are required to remember from the exam point of view. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is on the IRDAI, that is Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, which has recently reduced the solvency margin. See, जो solvency margin requirement है general insurers के लिए, उसके लिए उन्होंने उसको रिड्यूस किया है एंड यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू टेल मी वंस अगेन दैट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली वाज द ऑब्जेक्टिव बिहाइंड दिस डिसीजन। आखिर क्यों उन्होंने ये डिसीजन लिया IRDAI ने कि जो क्रॉप बिजनेसेस के अंदर जनरल इंश्योरर्स हैं जो कि क्रॉप बिजनेस को केटर करते हैं, तो उनकी जो सॉल्वेंसी मार्जिन रिक्वायरमेंट है उसको क्यों यहाँ पर रिड्यूस किया गया है। एंड गाइस हियर द राइट आंसर इज ऑप्शन ए, दैट इज टू इंक्रीज द कैपेसिटी ऑफ जनरल इंश्योरर्स टू underwrite more businesses. So that is what is the reason behind this particular initiative, the decision taken by the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is on the India data center capacity. So guys, India की data center capacity से related recently एक report यहाँ पर launch की गई थी जिसमें उन्होंने बताया that it is expected to double from 1700 to 1800 megawatt by fiscal 2025. And now you are required to just identify the name of the report under which such kind of finding was being mentioned. कि वो report basically किस organization ने release की थी, that is what you are required to tell me. It's Ernst & Young, it's CRISIL, Moody's, Nomura Research Institute or PwC India. And guys, here the right answer to the question is option B, that is CRISIL. So CRISIL is the right answer to the question, the organization which has launched this particular report which told us about the data center capacity in India. So guys, as we all know that data is the new fuel which is going to drive the economy, and that is why this really becomes important. This finding is really very important from the exam point of view. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is about the Commonwealth group of nations. Recently 2 African nations has been joined the Commonwealth group of nations, and whenever there is such addition of the members in such kind of groups, the international groups, it becomes really important. As we all know that there was also one such question earlier in the exam, that which country became the 101st signatory to the International Solar Alliance. So that's why on the similar line a question can also be asked on the Commonwealth group of nations. And guys, here the name of the African nations which have joined this particular group, the right answer is basically option D, that is both Gabon and Togo which have joined the Commonwealth group of nations. I hope that this is very much clear to all of you. And guys, very important thing, that this decision was being taken during the 26th Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting which was held with some theme. What exactly was the theme? The theme was delivering a common future, connecting, innovating, transforming. तो guys, यहाँ पर आपको याद रखना होगा that as recently in the exam we have seen in RBI Grade B Phase 2 exam कि जो भी हमारे ऐसे events होते हैं, जो international events हैं, you are really required to remember about that, because in the exam we have seen that there was a question on the chief guest as well, there was a question on the sideline events, there was a question on the new theme, the corrected theme, one of the pillars of that particular theme with which that particular dialogue was recently held, that was Resina dialogue. ठीक है जी, I hope this is very much clear. Moving on to the next question, and the next question is on NASA. ठीक है जी, तो NASA ने यहाँ पर recently launch किया है NASA Black Print 9, और ये this was one of the historic moment. And guys, here you are required to tell me, ये जो यहाँ पर इन्होंने NASA Black Print 9 ये जो rocket launch किया है, it was basically launched from Arnhem Space Center. You are required to tell me कि कौन सी country के अंदर ये center is being located. It's France, Australia, Austria, Suriname and Japan. And guys, here the right answer to the question is option B, that is Australia. ठीक है जी, moving on to the next question. So the next question is on the Central Board of Direct Taxes. तो recently यहाँ पर काफी सारे appointments हुई हैं, and when I talk about the Central Board of Direct Taxes, तो उसके भी यहाँ पर chairman appoint हुए हैं. And who is that particular person who has been appointed as the chairperson of the Central Board of Direct Taxes? That is what you are required to tell me in the comment section. And guys, here the right answer to the question is option C, that is Nitin Gupta. So Nitin Gupta is a person who has been appointed as the chairman of CBDT. That is what you are really required to remember from the exam point of view. Moving on to the next question, a very great step taken by one of the Indian states, that is Balika Panchayat, which is going to empower the girls, empower the women to enter into the politics. So guys, here you are required to just identify the state which has come up with such kind of initiative, that is Balika Panchayat, a very innovative initiative. And guys, here the right answer to the question is option B, that is Gujarat. Gujarat is the state which has basically come up with the Balika Panchayat to promote the social and political development of the girls. That is what you are required to remember from the exam point of view. Moving on to the next question. The next question is on the National Financial Reporting Authority Amendment Rules 2022. So you are just required to tell me that which ministry has come up with these particular rules. that is National Financial Reporting Authority Amendment Rules 2022. And let's see that who will answer the question correctly. So guys, you are just required to identify the name of the ministry which has come up with such kind of rules. And guys, here the right answer is Ministry of Corporate Affairs, who has come up with the National Financial Reporting Authority Amendment Rules 2022, a very important one from the exam point of view. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is on the Sample Registration System Abridged Life Table 2015 to 2019, which is talking about the India's life expectancy at birth rate. So this particular report has found that this life expectancy was below the global average of dash, and that was basically 69.7. So you are just required to identify कि ये जो global average है of the life expectancy at birth rate, what exactly it is. See, we know that what exactly is the life expectancy at birth for India, but you are required to identify that what is exactly the global average, and that is what you are required to answer in the question. And the right answer to the question is option A, that is 72.6. ठीक है जी. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is on the World Gold Council, a report which is being released by the World Gold Council during 2013 to 2021. So here you are required to tell me that here the India's gold refining capacity has increased to 1800 tons. So you are just required to tell me that in year 2021, how much amount of gold was being recycled by India. And guys, here the options are 75, 125, 50, 100 and 150. And guys, here the right answer to the question is option A, that is 75 tons of gold which was being recycled by India in year 2021. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is, recently who among the following has been appointed as the India's permanent representative to the United Nations? And guys, here when I talk about the person who has been appointed as the India's permanent representative to the United Nations, she is none other than Ruchira Kamboj. So Ruchira Kamboj has been recently appointed as the India's present representative to the United Nations. And see guys, do not forget that one such question was being asked in the RBI Grade B Phase 1 exam, that is on the CTO of the CIA, and the answer was Mulchand Nandwani. So guys, one such name was being there in the news that time, that is Nand Mulchandani, and guys, who was recently been appointed as the Chief Technical Officer in the CIA, and that is what you are required to remember from the exam point of view. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is on once again on the important days, that is United Nations first International Day for Countering Hate Speech, and you are required to tell me the date on which this particular day is being celebrated. So United Nations first International Day for Countering Hate Speech, and guys, here the right answer to the question is option B, that is 18th of June, on which the United Nations is basically celebrating its first International Day for Countering Hate Speech. So guys, जब भी ऐसा कोई day recently इनिशिएटिव लेते हुए उसको लॉन्च किया जाता है, दैट इज द फर्स्ट टाइम दैट दिस इज गोइंग टू बी डन, दैट इज बिकम्स रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फ्रॉम द एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. लेट्स मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. So the next question is on India's first AC railway station, that is Sir M Vishwesvaraya railway station. You are just required to tell me the place where this particular station is located, which has been recently dedicated by the Prime Minister of India to the whole country. And guys, here the right answer to the question is बेंगलुरु. सो बेंगलुरु कर्नाटका के अंदर इंडिया का पहला एसी रेलवे स्टेशन बना है, दैट इज जस्ट लाइक द एयरपोर्ट, एंड द नेम ऑफ दैट स्टेशन इज सर एम विश्वेश्वरैया रेलवे स्टेशन. ठीक है जी. मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. सो द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज ऑन द नूरी रॉकेट विच हैज बीन लॉन्च्ड फ्रॉम अ स्पेस सेंटर, एंड यू आर जस्ट रिक्वायर्ड टू टेल मी दैट इट इज द फर्स्ट होम ग्रोन रॉकेट ऑफ विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग कंट्रीज. तो पहला होम ग्रोन रॉकेट है इनमें से किसी एक कंट्री का, द नेम इज नूरी रॉकेट, एंड गाइस द राइट आंसर इज ऑप्शन ए, दैट इज साउथ कोरिया. साउथ कोरिया का पहला होम ग्रोन रॉकेट, दैट इज नूरी रॉकेट. याद रखिएगा नाम, इट कैन बी आस्क्ड इन द एग्जाम. मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, एंड द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज ऑन India's first airport to run entirely on the hydro and solar energy. तो क्या है उस एयरपोर्ट का नाम? Recently, one of the Indian airports has become India's first airport to run entirely on the hydro and solar energy. And guys, the right answer to this question is option C, that is Indira Gandhi International Airport, which is located in Delhi, which has come up with a very good initiative. As we all know that we have now a very good target, updated target, that is India is going to become net carbon emission free by year 2070 as per the Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji during the COP26 summit which was held last year in Glasgow. I hope this is very much clear. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is on the new surrogacy rules 2022. तो यहाँ पर गवर्नमेंट ने एक हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस प्लान को मैंडेटरी किया है फॉर द सरोगेट मदर्स. What is the tenure of that plan? That is what you are required to tell me in the comment section. And guys, here the right answer to the question is 3 years. That is the right answer. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is on the video based customer identification process. So ये यहाँ पर एक recently Indian bank ने launch किया है. You are just required to identify the name of that bank which has launched the video based customer identification process, and the right answer to the question is option C, that is Karnataka Bank. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is on the ATL Payment Bank which has partnered with one of the companies to offer gold loans. So guys, we always see that there are a lot of ads from that one particular organization which is basically in this gold loans, and that is none other than Muthoot Finance, and that is the right answer to this question, that is Muthoot Finance. Moving on to the next question. Next question is on the International Olympic Day. So guys, what exactly was the theme of the Olympic Day? So Olympics से जब हम बात करें guys, the Olympics, the next edition of Olympics is going to be held in 2024 in France, and when I talk about the नेक्स्ट एडिशन इट विल बी इन 2026, दैट इज इटली. सो यहाँ पर नेक्स्ट 2 एडिशंस आपको याद रहने चाहिए फ्रॉम द एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. नाउ टेल मी दैट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज द राइट आंसर टू दिस क्वेश्चन, which is option D, that is Together for a Peaceful World. That is the right answer to this question. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is, which of the following organization has signed an MOU with the Karnataka government to help economic activities of women's self-help groups and facilitate organic farmers to sell their product directly to the consumers? A very, very important step which is being taken by the Karnataka government in order to support the women self-help groups. And guys, the right answer to this question is option D, that is both IIM Bangalore as well as Subhiksha, which is really going to collaborate in this particular initiative of the Karnataka government. I hope that this is very much clear. Moving on to the next question. And the next question is about the New Space India Limited, which has undertook the launch for GSAT-24, which was launched recently, GSAT-24 communication satellite. Now you are required to tell me कि जो GSAT-24 communication satellite है उसको launch किया है एक फ्रेंच गुयाना बेस्ड कंपनी से के द्वारा, एंड व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज द नेम ऑफ दैट कंपनी? इट्स एरियान स्पेस, स्पेसएक्स, यूरोपियन स्पेस एजेंसी, नासा, ब्लू ओरिजिन. सो गाइस, ब्लू ओरिजिन वाज इन द न्यूज़ बट इट इज नॉट द राइट आंसर. नासा इज नॉट द राइट आंसर. स्पेसएक्स इज नॉट द राइट आंसर. द राइट आंसर टू द क्वेश्चन इज एरियान स्पेस. ठीक है जी, आई होप दैट दिस इज वेरी मच क्लियर. मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. सो द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज, यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू टेल मी द नेम ऑफ द इंडियाज फर्स्ट वेट लिफ्टर हु हैज रियली मेड द होल कंट्री प्राउड आफ्टर विनिंग द गोल्ड एट द IWF यूथ वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप which was held at Leon in Mexico. तो यहाँ पर आपको याद रखना है कि ये चैंपियनशिप कहाँ हुई थी. That is Leon, Mexico. What is the name of that person? That person basically belongs to Telangana. He is from Telangana, and you are required to tell me the name of that person. And guys, the right answer to the particular question is Sanpati Guru Naidu. So Sanpati Guru Naidu is the first weightlifter of India to win gold medal at the IWF Youth World Championships, which was held at Leon in Mexico. So guys, that was the last question of our today's session, and I really believe that today's session was very much useful and fruitful to all of you. And now, what is one thing that you are required to do? You are just required to tell me that what exactly was your score out of 50 in this particular session. Do not forget to tell me your scores in the comment section. And if you have any kind of query, guys, what you can do, you can just mail us at hello@edutap.co.in. You can also call us at 8146207241. So guys, thank you for joining us. I really believe that this session was really very much helpful for all of you. And guys, now let's conclude the session. Thank you for joining us. Wish you all have a good day.